What's up, guys? Welcome back to the VAR Check Podcast by El Merengue Culé, the podcast where football's biggest debates go
This guy.
under review. I'm actually pretty excited because this is our first ever stream that will also be on Instagram. So now we have added YouTube where we started, Twitch, Instagram Live, and I'm working on getting this podcast on Spotify for the future. We'll see if we keep expanding to Facebook. But for now, what's most important is that we keep growing this podcast. This is now episode 5. It's crazy to think that it's been over a month of content. So shout out to you guys for tuning in. If you're just now joining, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button so we can keep pushing the podcast to reach more viewers. Last week we had a random Barça guy that was searching for Barça content, stumbled upon the podcast, and then boom, look at that. So this is what we wanna get more into. We have yet again the full lineup, the full crew: Ricky, Michel, and Amir. Amir recently making it last minute for the stream. Thank goodness. But with that being said, guys, you know how we get started. Ricky, why don't we hear your headline of the week?
The two Madrid fans have an extra smile on their face today.
I don't like
Madrid and
that at
Barca's fates swapped.
Amir.
Just sadness and sorrow. That's all I got for my headline. It's a rough week for Barca.
Michel, what you got to say?
Oh, how the tables have turned. That is my headline of the week.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if what I'm gonna say is a compliment or not to Barca, but I'm honestly struggling to remember when the last time that I watched them play this bad was. So, with that being said, guys, we want to hear from the people that are currently in what your headline is. Let us know what you thought about everything that's happened this week since the last podcast. And without further ado, let's jump in straight to the juiciest part of this week, which was happening in La Liga Matchday number 8, when Barcelona was facing Sevilla away at the Sánchez Pizjuán. I mentioned this in the live reaction that I made, a game that's always highlighted in the calendar as a potential tough one. However, Sevilla has been very mediocre the past maybe like 4 years in La Liga. Yes, Barça came in with a lot of injuries, but what happened was, I think, a shock to us all, just like last week for Madrid against Atletico. Ricardito, what went wrong for Barça? I don't want to just hear the injury.
No. I mean, obviously the injuries are going to hinder us, but I think the main problem was just the high line wasn't working well, and I hate to say it, but I keep signaling out Ronald Araujo. It seems like every time he starts, something goes wrong, and like it was super evident, like especially in the first half, where I mean, how many times were they just in on net, clear chance after clear chance after clear chance. And you can't even justify as a Barcelona fan saying like, oh, we were just attacking, we were just having a high line, and that's the consequence of the game we were playing. Because we might have had like 1 or 2 attacks the whole first half. As compared to Sevilla, could have easily put in 5 in the first half. To me, that was the biggest issue. It just seemed like we were a filter allowing every single player right on through. I don't know if they just had the magic sauce. They figured out how to break down our high line. I don't know. What do you think, Amir?
I mean, okay, we were fragile as hell the whole game, and I think that was the worst game that I've seen by Hansi Flick in the past season and a half. The high line, I love the way Barca have played this past year and a half, but it's also, I don't know, we're for some reason we're not as lethal, and we're a lot more fragile in our defensive line. And then we were super inefficient. That in a game that Sevilla, they almost got relegated last season, and we lose to them this poorly. Alexis Sanchez looks like he's ready for a retirement home, for God's sake. And we are getting scored on by him, and he's dribbling past like Cubarsí and Araujo, and then Mike Gallagher from ESPN. He was saying the same thing. Araujo is so problematic, which is so sad to see. And God, do I miss Inigo Martinez and him yelling. Like the leadership of the team is losing their like effect almost. Like we don't have anybody screaming at people like Inigo did. And it's kind of sad. I mean, it's only one game, and it happens. Like you have good days and bad days, but even like the reason I guess it's so like such a big blow is that you see the reaction of the players on social media, like from Eric Garcia, Pedri, Cubarsí, Szczesny, like everyone is tweeting and everyone is just like, we can't make any excuses. We just played horribly. Yeah. It's rough week, and then PSG. I'm not even gonna. We're gonna get into that. I'm sure.
We're gonna get to PSG.
Speaking with the Sevilla game, like you could easily bring up, and I almost don't want to, just bring up the fact that Lewa had the penalty to tie it up. Bargirouni had the 1-on-1 essentially to tie it up. But the fundamental problems are so further back that you could even call it a robbery had Barca taken away a point from that game.
Yeah, I didn't think I thought we deserved that. Like we lost the game completely. Like I hated it. I literally turned off the TV. Like when I texted you guys yesterday saying like, oh, I'm not attending the podcast. I didn't want to attend the damn podcast. Like I was just like this was I don't know. It
typical
was so,
Barca fans, bro.
I know. They face one sense of adversity and they already want to give up, just like that. It's crazy. I mean, come on now. This is part of the game. Michel, before
adversity, as if we haven't been in financial ruins
for the past 5 years. We've been,
well, let's before we hear,
for God's sake. So.
God. Before we hear Michel's thoughts on this game, I want to start highlighting some of the comments that are coming in from you guys watching the stream. So here, Kylian Mendy losing 4-1 to worst Sevilla side in decades, who avoided relegation last season by 1 point is crazy. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like we said, Sevilla was pretty bad previous season. I do feel like they've improved this season. They're actually in the top 5 of La Liga, if not 6th place. So clearly they're having a much better season. And Sevilla at home is never an easy game. But I mean, with that being said, I think the craziest thing is just not the fact that Barca necessarily lost, but how they lost. Let's see, Michel, what do you have to say about this game?
A lot. I mean, well, first things first, everybody, it's always great to be back here with my brothers. Everybody watching in the podcast, in the chat right now, thank you so much. It's good to see new people comment. I'm not sure if we saw Kylian here before, so I really love to see that we're growing the family. I also want to give a special shout out to Aikagar, I think his name is there. Hey, Stops 13, that's my boy. You're one of the faithfuls from the very beginning, from the first episode, and you're always very active. So remember, guys, we love to hear you guys say exactly what you're commenting. We want to hear what you got to say. We want to hear where you're tuning in from, and we love the support. That being said, it was a crazy game, and I loved watching every moment of it. Not just because you guys lost, but it was the way that you guys lost and the bravado that, Hansi Flick does not want to change. Even in the game, he does not make adjustments. He will stick to what he's doing no matter what, and he will decide and decide and decide. And I cannot get over how trash those jerseys are. I'm just going to put that out there. So, I mean, I think it was a nice wake-up call. I'm not also going to put too much into this game, just how we really did it with the Madrid game against Atletico. You feel the growing pains. Kylian, you're new. We loved it. Welcome to the family. These are the growing pains of the season. You're going to go through ups and downs. I'm not going to put too much stock. Barça still Barça. You guys didn't have Lamine. You didn't have Rafinha. But you're also still Barcelona, and you let 4 goals. And like Ricky said, easily could have been six goals throughout the game. And if that is happening, something in your defense is not working. The players are not focusing. People are starting to understand the high line a little bit more. They're playing against Barça with a little bit more confidence. And really, that's what it comes down to. Like Barça rolls into town or Madrid rolls into town. Teams need to be afraid, and they should be grateful to get the tie. Not like, hey, they're going to come at us with everything they got. If we can withstand this for 15 minutes and then we can hit them, not just on counterattacks, but we're going to pressure them. That's when you start looking into trouble. And I think Barca's starting to feel teams aren't really afraid of us. Like, they know that that it's going to be a tough game, but they know that they're coming with the high line. There's nothing new that Barca's going to do. They know exactly how they're going to play. And I don't know, if you go back and watch the game when they were doing the cooling break, you could hear the coach for Sevilla saying, we worked on this all week. Like, they know what they're going to do. So teams need to prepare. Hansi Flick needs to change it up. I mean, I think that's what being a coach at the top level is. You can have your system of playing, but every opponent is different. And at the end of the day, these are all Primera División players. They don't suck. You know, anything can happen on any given day. It just happened to be Barça this time, but it's something to take note.
Yeah, I ultimately really agree with what Michel is saying, but also with with Stabs13 here saying, God, my guys, the season is so long. Yeah, I mean, not just is the season very long, and we're still in the getting warm. You know, teams are warming up, but Barça is facing a lot of injuries, and so it is hard to really fully judge them for who they are when their best players, Lamine and Rafinha from last season, are missing, and defensively, teams are starting to figure them out. Now, I really want to, staying within the Barça topics, switch it to the PSG loss, because if we're going to talk about Barça, we have to talk about them collectively this whole week, and we talked about it here in the podcast that after we broke it down, we said Barça is coming into this PSG match as the favorite. Except, considering all the injuries that both teams had, but we still all agreed that Barça was the favorite here. However, obviously, Barça ended up coming out with the loss. I mean, what do we attribute this to? How does Barça come back? How are they going to come back and continue on with the season after these results from this week?
I mean, I just don't think. I don't think these results are as substantial to the rest of the season. Again, we already talked about it, the injuries, but the other factor is you just kind of have to consider that you're allowed to have one or two bad games. It's a shame that they happen back to back, and I think it goes to highlight things a little bit more. But if the way Lamine started the game against PSG was insane. We single-handedly could have gone up 2-0 within the first 10 minutes, and the game is a complete different story, right? If we were to face up against PSG in a final, they have their attacking three, we have our attacking three. I mean, again, it's a complete different game than the one we just saw. I think it's hard to reflect on what future tough games could look like with the squad we have right now. I mean, we could talk about what potentially the El Clásico could look like, being that a lot of those players that are injured probably won't be back by then. I don't think Lamine Yamal is going to be back for El Clásico on the 26th. That might be a little bit more relevant, but as far as the longer term of the season, I think we're talking about two different things.
Amir, do you have any additional thoughts on Barça?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Staps is saying season is long. I agree. Season is very long, but it's also kind of showing us some really main points about Barça and how, as everyone said, the other teams have figured out how Barça plays and how, what is the best timing for the players, and especially when you're playing against a team that has the depth and the pace of PSG. And I mean, Gonzalo Ramos is not a starter for PSG, not even on their B team, basically. But he still came in, and he's a great player. So that was one issue. And I feel like our depth, yesterday, I don't know if y'all saw the substitutes for Barça. We couldn't really do anything magical with any of them. So yeah, we have a depth issue, and then we need I think the other part of it is that Hansi Flick, he needs a little bit more flexibility. I think it's great that he sticks to his guns, but he's sticking to them a little too hard. I think he needs to have something under his sleeve that he'll.
What type of flexibility would you incorporate to this team?
Just like if the high line, if we're getting destroyed on the high line, then I don't know. Oh, it's kind of difficult because the whole team offense is working based on that high line. But then we also have the issue of someone like Araujo, which was so noticeable once Eric Garcia started playing, that he started carrying the ball. The momentum of the game kind of started shifting, and then with more subs, that momentum kind of died. But I don't know exactly. I wish I had a better solution. It's kind of problematic. Yeah.
I think when we look at the high line, it's not just the back line. It's not just the midfield. Like our system is very centered and around the way Lamine Yamal and both Rafinha operate. Without them two, Lewandowski does not look like the player that he looks like that world class, arguably the best striker or at least top 3 strikers in the world right now. And you have to consider how well they press. I mean, not saying that Rashford can't press, not saying that Bargy Rooney or Ferran Torres, whoever's playing the other winger, can't press, but they just don't understand the system as well as Lamine and Rafinha. I almost feel like the system was calibrated and kind of molded around them. So obviously having them two affects not just the attacking side of things, but also the defensive side of things. So a lot of the time they hold the ball up and allow players like Pedri, players like De Jong, to come in the middle and kind of act as like second strikers. Things that we can't do without them. Our system just is different without them, and that's just the nature of it. It's not just like thinking, player for player, Rashford against Lamine Yamal or whatever is different. It's like, no, the way the system works around these players. I think that's the biggest issue.
I think that's very, very accurate. And so what I'm really excited to see is how Barça will start to change once these players come back. I want to give a quick shout out to Anthony Tharp. What's up, guys? First time joining in, long-time viewer of the channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, brother. This is a project that we've been talking about for a long time, and we're so happy to have finally implemented it. And honestly, it couldn't have been a better way to just bring in friends and just be able to have all of you guys in together, have a good time, comment. And this is why we want you guys participating 24/7, so we can have a discussion with you guys and go from there. The final thing let's switch it up within Barça, but let's give Barça a little positivity. Marcus Rashford has been picking up, because of all these injuries, has been picking up actually a lot of minutes, and I'm not gonna lie, he's been delivering. He got his first La Liga goal. I think that's 4 goals in the season, and I think that puts him at 7 or 8 goals/assists in all the games he's participated this season. Are you guys surprised?
For a player that I would argue most fans would consider washed, some might even call him Trashford, I agree. I think he's having kind of like a second wind onto his career. I don't think very many people really rated him anymore, really looked at him. Barca took a gamble, and it was a safe one ultimately. It's just a loan, nothing too crazy, but I mean, you're right. He's coming around and he's doing what he needs to do. You can't really put much more, you can't demand much more else from him, Hopefully the more comfortable he gets with the system and the team around him, maybe they can start to understand the way he plays, and it might even improve from here.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be very interesting to see what Barca does when Rafinha is back to full fitness, because if he's hot, and it's kind of the problem that Madrid is having right now with Jude, is eventually you got to plug him back in, right? So with Barca, what if Rashford over the next few weeks decides and he just is on a roll and Rafinha's healthy, and that's when you start to get into these interesting conversations of who's going to start, who's going to do this, who do you need in the big moments? Because I actually think, other than Pedri, hey, my brother, happy to see you guys out of Madrid, let's go. He knows what's up. I think it's going to be an interesting topic of conversation. I think Rashford, like you said, is having a good second wind with you guys. And all of his goals are nice. He's playing with confidence. He's taking players on. I think that Newcastle game gave him everything he needed to play with confidence and understand, I am that guy, and I am at Barca for a reason. I think it's going to be it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem. And I'm curious to see what you guys are going to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think it also goes to show like Flick's like ability to kind of change the mentality of the players. Like he's probably the fourth player, I would say. So we have like the likes of him, like Eric Garcia and Ferran Torres, who were, I thought they were deadbeats. Like I thought we were done with them, and they're actually kind of not fundamental, but they're necessary for the team. So
Yeah.
and I think he's also going through that transition right now.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but for the first time in my life, I actually feel like Eddie Garcia is better than Araujo, and I cannot believe I'm saying this.
Me
I
too.
don't know.
Yeah,
Me
I don't
too.
know. I think for Barça fans, y'all are reaching that point with Araujo where the frustration is starting to become maybe a little too real from some mistakes. Which I do want to start transitioning to other stuff, but what did y'all think about that penalty he committed this weekend?
100% a PK. I don't want to hear you guys say it's not a
Oh,
PK.
come on.
100%.
You don't think it was a penalty?
I don't think
Amir.
it was a penalty.
No way. Look at how they've been
No.
calling PKs in La Liga all season. It's soft and it is what it is, but he unnecessarily doesn't. Bro, he does not need to grab him. Like I remember watching your video. He's not even gonna score. He's not threatening a shot at goal. He's all over his back, and then he puts his leg in between his two legs. Like the guy definitely made the most out of it, but so does every player in the world. It was 100% a PK. And
I want to
stupid
hear
by
from
him.
you guys in the comments. Ricky, I see you quiet.
I mean, I think there was two different PKs. I think, up top, he had his hands all over him. I mean, again, in the box, exactly like Michel said, in a situation where he's never going to score,
It's just
is there a need to be grabbing him up like that? I don't think so. And then you look down below and, he jams his leg in there. I mean, I would have called it. I would have called it.
It's
As soon as that happened, I remember I literally thought about Rodrigo going at your intro, how you're like, where we go. I was like, bro, it's gonna happen. He's going straight to the thing, and as soon as he went to the monitor, I said,
That's once they get called back to the monitor,
It's over,
It's gonna be a penalty. Which I don't want to. I just want to bring this up real quick. For those of you guys that have been watching the U20 Club World Cup, did y'all see what was the new thing that was implemented? I know Ricky has, but Amir, Michel, have y'all seen, or any of you guys down in the comments? They incorporated this new thing called the green card. So now each coach gets 2 green cards during the game.
oh
And
yeah, I heard about this.
anytime anything controversial happens, the coach gets to raise up this green card, and it has to be reviewed by VAR. No matter, it doesn't matter. It has to go be reviewed. And
That's interesting.
if the review it turns out positive, if the coach raised his thing and he
was
right,
correct,
then they get to keep that green card. But if they end up saying no, you were wrong, then you obviously lose that green card.
Imagine all the
honestly, I feel like
Champions
it-
League y'all would lose from that. So,
Hmm?
imagine all the Champions League Madrid would lose from that green card. So,
Oh,
These things were reviewed.
my. Here we go. Now, I was actually thinking, imagine how like Simeone would be with that fucking green card.
bro.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Mexico versus the Netherlands, bro. World Cup hashtag
Yeah,
no era
yeah,
penal, bro.
yeah. Literally.
But I think that system is fundamentally flawed. I think the idea of it is to speed up the games, right? Have less opportunities for video review. However, and we saw it happen. I think it was in the Mexico game. Definitely in the U20 World Cup, where it's it was something that clearly wasn't a penalty. But it's a 1-0 victory or a 1-0 lead. It's getting out to those dying minutes, and you were quick to pull out that green card and be like, go check it. When it's something that never would have been checked before, in my opinion, and if so, it would have been checked as the game's still going on. So to me, it's actually counterproductive because it gives the coach an ability to continue to waste time to stop the momentum of the games in times that it might never have been. I personally, I wouldn't change a thing. I think keep reviewing those plays as the rest of the game's happening. Once the ball goes out, screw it. If you gotta go sit there for 5 minutes and watch it, it is what it is. It's the best and most fair way, in my opinion.
But that's also
So,
the
yeah.
beauty of our game, bro. The controversy of the game. I even think at times VAR can be a bit much because now players, like I think referees are getting worse because of this, and we can have that be its own topic. But I think the refereeing is not up to par like it was back in the day. Teams, weirdly enough, don't understand that everything is on camera now. And like before we start to add all these extra things, it's you can't give it away. You can't always give it away. Like there has to be some mystery. There has to be some controversy, or else none of us would have a job, right? But
Right.
you know, you can't make things so simple. Like sometimes you gotta let it go, and just that's
Yeah.
the beauty of the game.
It'll be interesting to see. But anyways, I think Anthony
I
Tarr
agree. That's basically what I
makes
just
a
said.
good
Look at
point
this.
here, which is really interesting because it's two Madrid fans and two Barça fans that will have to discuss this. But yeah, I mean the level of refereeing in La Liga has overall decreased. I think it's gone to the point where
Garbage.
me as a Madridista, I feel much safer going into a Champions League game than I feel going into a freaking La Liga game where maybe Negreira's there, maybe not.
I agree. I definitely do think the calls in these Champions League games that are being reffed by Premier League or whatever other league, like some of these controversial ones where it really could go 50-50, you're kind of left off like, I think if this was like a standard La Liga ref, I think the call would go one way. But right now, we honestly, we have to wait and see. I do think it's different. I'm not going to say better, worse, although I don't think the La Liga refs are necessarily better, but different, I will agree on.
Interesting.
I mean, so yeah, a lot of unanimous opinions in the comments. Just talking about how ridiculous these refs are. I saw this other one here, not that one. Hold on. Yeah, a true shame when they're the highest paid refs in all of Europe. He's saying same thing in the Prem. I mean, I watch Prem honestly every week, like whatever the biggest game is. But I would say that I don't see as big of scandals as I see in La Liga. I'm not saying I'm necessarily right about that, but I do think I agree with BGP. And wow, it seems like everyone really wants to get in on this conversation about refs. It is a hot topic, but La Liga refs
because the refs are trash. Let's not be. We made this podcast, and I'm glad everyone's tuning in. We made this podcast so we can say exactly what it is. These La Liga refs are trash. And that's just, I don't know what's going on in the federation. I don't know what's going on in their training because they do their weekly assessments like how they do I don't know what's going on. And I think at times, and we might be biased, but I think these refs know when they go and ref a Madrid game, they're going to get bitched at by Vini. They're going to get bitched at by all these players. So they're going in with this preconceived notion of like, oh my God, like I have my work cut out. And like they have to, assert dominance and set the precedence. What I don't understand is there seems to be zero consistency. If you're gonna make a bad call, make all the bad calls then. Like when are we choosing to go see VAR and when are we not? And I think what I like about the EPL from the games that I've seen, there seems to be a bit more structure. Like there seems to be all across the board. There's people, they're humans, right? They're gonna have bad games. They make mistakes just like players make bad passes. But there's such a big drop off in like a good ref and a shitty one. And my dad always told me, that a ref is amazing when you don't even realize that he's there. When you don't realize he's there, that's how you know you have an incredible ref because he's controlling the game is flowing. But I think now they also know that they're on camera. Like, do you remember that ref from last year that was like crying at the podium, talking about how his kids are getting threatened at school? Like, I've never seen that before in my life.
Before a Madrid game. Yeah.
Yes. Like
before that was before the Copa del Rey final. They went up in the press conference and they started crying, blah blah blah. It was just a.
Now the refs are getting TV time. Like, what's going on with this?
Well, I think we should double down on the TV time. I think that could be one of the like generally, if the players and the teams have press conference afterwards, I would love for like the media to really get their hands on and put pressure on the refs right after the game while the things are hot. Like, why did you make this call? Why was this not a handball? Or whatever the call was. And I want to see the refs pull out and be like, no, in the rule book, because of this and that reason is why I made this call. Because, and I mean, that way they're like put under scrutiny and they genuinely have to back up their calls with logic. Just like we've been seeing kind of like whenever they go and review the play, it tends to be in international games more than not, they'll go get the mic and be like, and explain to the stadium why they made a call. I would love to have both during the game and then an actual structured press conference afterwards where the media gets a chance to get their hands dirty.
They were cranking the Real Madrid TV. That's so funny.
I mean, it's really true.
Sorry, one thing. Let's
get focused again. We're gonna stick within this ref conversation, but we're gonna switch it to Real Madrid now, because in their game, we know Real Madrid ended up beating Villarreal 3-0. But in my opinion, there was a controversial moment. The defender that was on Vinicius Jr., the right back, his name was Mourinho, picked up a yellow card in the first half, and then the second half ended up picking up a yellow card again when Vini had the ball. Michel, did you think that was a red card? Did you think that should have been a red card?
No, I don't know. It's hard to tell nowadays, it's just I don't, that's kind of what I was saying, the inconsistencies. I don't really know who's going to call what in what scenario, because I feel like I've seen all scenarios. My instinct is probably, I usually try to steer away from giving players red cards because, you're just kind of hurting the game. And at that point, the game is broken, right? So unless a player truly deserves the red and it's clear and obvious, I usually let the player stay. I think Vini knows what he's doing. He knows how to manipulate the refs. He knows how to piss the players off. So, but that's also part of the game, the mental aspect of the game. You got to be physically strong, but you also got to be mentally strong. So I'm neither here nor there. Madrid has gotten fucking bullshit reds also for yelling at refs. So I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this.
Sorry, not completely unrelated, but can we appreciate all of the comments in the chat? It is crazy over here.
And a bunch of new people too. New people, new faces, new family members. We love that.
I know. I love it. I got Vinny best game of the season so far.
I agree.
I would very much agree with that. Got himself 2 goals. No, he did not get an assist, but 2 goals, and this is the most active I've ever seen Vini play. I don't know if y'all have any comments on his performance.
His girl was coming to watch him. You didn't see that?
Dude, doesn't that girl? I saw that. Doesn't that girl have a whole family?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. She moved to Spain now. You can see it too, bro. You already know when their boos or when Vinny's boo or was pulling up to see him. He played with that little pep in his step. He should have been sent off in the first half when he pulled Mbappé down on the counter.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of that. For any of you guys so I guess I brought it up, and I should have maybe explained a little bit more on what happened. So this guy that already had the yellow card, Mourinho, in the second half, Vini took a long touch past him, and as Vini is running past him, the Mourinho guy, he kind of his arm swings out, and then Vini just drops to the floor holding his face as if he got slapped in the face. And so then he right away ended up getting the second yellow card, got sent off. But when you look at the replay, the hand actually touches Vini more right here rather than on his face. So Vini definitely put on his acting suit and got them the red card. And in my opinion, that ended up being Villarreal's demise, because in that moment the game was 2-1. Yeah, Villarreal was starting to look kind of hot, and for a second there was 15 minutes left. And I'm like, oh, okay, they could tie it up. But I do think Anthony Tharp has a good point, because in the first half, when he already had a yellow card, that defender, he did pull Mbappé down in a counterattack when he didn't even have the ball, and that itself could have easily been a yellow card.
There was the makeup call. See, it always comes back around.
I mean,
go ahead.
I don't really think it was a foul. Okay, maybe you could call it a foul. It on itself is very light, and then to give a red card off of that, I don't know. I would not have given a red card.
We're talking about referees.
But it's same thing.
So, anyways, yeah, it's definitely controversial. One thing I wanted to get you guys' opinions about this past week. So after Real Madrid lost in the derby against Atletico Madrid 5-2, I feel like it opened up Pandora's box. Xabi Alonso had been almost insulated from a lot of the criticism from the media, And once that loss happened, I feel like this week I've heard nothing but like drama just coming out from the whole like Real Madrid ecosystem. When Xabi Alonso's in the press conference, he's finally getting asked those questions that put him in the hot seat. But on top of that, I feel like there's been a lot of controversy with certain players, and I'm sure you guys have heard all the Valverde drama. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Who are you asking?
Go, Michel.
Anyone?
So I mean, that's the game. I mean, people make up stories. That's the reporter's job. You know, they'll say things, they get things rolling. Like that's what they're paid to do. You know, so I think it's evident that Valverde doesn't like to play right back, and they went with that. But this is also kind of messed up because he didn't say I refuse to play there. He asked him a question, he answered honestly, and the reporters and the media ran with it and created these stories. Again, that's what they're paid to do. But Valverde has done nothing but be there for his team. And like, yes, we've said that he doesn't look the same. He's maybe doesn't look as sharp. But like, dude, the dude's played every game basically. He needs rest. Like these players are exhausted. Like it's also not hard and not easy to be a professional at this level. Like shit happens, you know. And I would not trade Valverde at all for anything. Like he's heart, blood, soul. You know, I mean, I love him. He's an amazing player, and like. Look what happened, like all this drama about something so stupid, and he goes and plays well. Like it shut everybody up, and that's kind of why in the same thing with this Barça game, when I was saying like, yes, it's a bad game because it's a derby madrileño, and like it's 5 fucking goals against you, like that sucks. But I'm also not gonna overreact. It's a bad game. Players have them. It's a shitty that it went down like this. Same thing with the Barça game. Because look, no one's talking about that now. And look at what happened with Atletico Madrid. I was just on the phone with my dad. I was like, as soon as Atletico Madrid does something well, look at what happens to them, right? And we're talking about how, oh my God, maybe this is their moment. No, it was a bad game. Madrid played horrible, and Atletico Madrid played incredible. It's like it happens.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the final part of the podcast with the power rankings. They're coming in hot this week. Very annoying, the reporters creating nonsense. Valverde literally destroyed his whole body to make sure we win. I would never question Valverde's commitment to Madrid. And I think, I think all Madridistas will completely agree on this with Akagar. Actually, like, whenever Madrid played against Villarreal, he was finally back in the Bernabeu, and the Bernabeu made sure to let him know that how much they appreciate him. Everyone was, clapping for him and making him feel loved. At the end of the game, he actually was the last player to stay to kind of like thank the whole crowd. So it once again highlights the toxicity I think in La Liga, where the media will do anything to they find this little opening in Madrid. They find this, they're bleeding a little bit, and they're like, let's stab the knife and just make them bleed more and do anything they can. And I just mainly brought it up because I wanted to highlight how evident it was that the moment something wasn't great for Madrid, the media just takes the moment to stab it, to hit him where it hurts.
But Xabi Alonso handles it like a G, bro. Like you see some of these questions they ask him, he's very quick. Like, that's the answer. Move on. Or he's like, or he'll say, I've already addressed this, so I'm not going to talk about it. And we keeps moving. Like he doesn't succumb to the pressure of these typical questions, especially when the questions are dumb. Like they'll ask him like, when is Endrick going to play? He'll play when I tell him he's going to play. He was hurt. Like the thing is like what do you want me to do? Like he's not going to take Mbappe's spot. These are dumb questions, I don't know.
They are, and that's what the media is there to create,
and that's their job.
Create drama, and ultimately that's the job. I mean, Endrick hasn't played a single minute this season, and I mean it is sad. It is sad. I do think he's a player with a lot of potential, but he's a player that I'm personally I don't love personally. I didn't enjoy watching him play a lot of the times last season. I don't know if anyone.
It's a tough situation.
I mean, it's not a matter of age thing, because you were seeing Arda Güler like play almost every single game. So I think it's just he's probably not putting the same amount of effort, and Xabi Alonso is just not appreciating the way he's playing. He's training, whatever he's doing behind the scenes. So
he also knows there's no chance.
Well, right.
He's not going to win this spot from Mbappé, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say there's no chance. I mean, you're up 5-0 in the Champions League. You're not really trying to get your main player, your starters, injured. give the kid a shot, unless like you really have absolutely no plan for him.
But
At
the
what point
thing
is,
is,
are you just holding on to him, hoping he gets better and his market value?
Well, he was hurt. He was hurt for a while too.
I think that's where the issue is for him. He got hurt at the worst time, and to make his luck even worse, he had what's his name, Gonzalo, step up to the plate whenever that void was there, and so it just makes it that much harder because now Xabi Alonso trusts Gonzalo after what he did in the Club World Cup. I mean, it's not you could easily be like, yeah, well, Gonzalo had a couple few lucky games where he scored. It was a whole tournament where he ended up as the top goal scorer. And so it's hard to overlook that. And is Endrick actually better than Gonzalo? Maybe. I think maybe Endrick has a higher ceiling than Gonzalo. But at this point, Gonzalo's been putting in good performances. And when he's gone in, he even got an assist in the Champions League. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they tried to loan him out. They tried to loan him out, and he got hurt. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. The same thing will happen with Mariano Diaz. Like, I think Endrick's going to be one of those players that they loan him out wherever he goes, France, Italy, and he's going to kill it, and he's going to come to Madrid and run into the same issue. Well, Mbappe's the starter, so I think it's just it sucks.
It's a crappy situation for any striker that's going to have to compete against either Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and now Kylian Mbappé, Vinicius Jr., whatever you call it. There's a hierarchy, and ultimately this is why it's really tough for strikers to succeed in these bigger teams. There's not a Lamine Yamal born every single day, which there you go. You guys get a compliment. So
You've been so generous lately. What's going on?
Hey man, I told you. I don't know when the last time I saw Barca play this bad was. So to finish off, why don't we switch over to the Champions League? We haven't talked other than Barca and Madrid winning. We haven't talked too much about everything else that's happened. And so I think this is a perfect way to kind of bring everything together to our power index ranking, our top 10 that we obviously switch up every week. And now, guys, for all of you, y'all have been so active this podcast. I think episode 5 has been probably one of my favorite podcasts in terms of viewer interaction. This is what we want. We want to talk with you guys, and I feel like we've all done a good job keeping up that conversation going. So as we segue into the power rankings, I'm going to pull up here our top 10 power rankings.
Oof. Hurts to see, doesn't it?
Oof, because, Barça is obviously coming off a horrendous week where Michel had just given them that hiccup into that first position. And I'm afraid to say that Barça may have lost it. What do you think?
See what happens when I try to be nice to the Barça world? I put them in first, and you see how they repay me? They lose. They take 2 L's in a row.
After the week we have, I think it's okay to move them down.
I mean, PSG literally beat them, and so it's tough to want to keep Barça as that first place position. Can they return there? I think so, but I do think we're all in agreement that Barça gets returned to that second position. But now, so here we go. Barça back at second. Aikagar makes a great point here, saying Liverpool may need to drop because what did we say in episode 3? Or, what did I say? Galatasaray I'm going to have to toot my own horn. Galatasaray is going to upset Liverpool. And I thought it was going to end up in a tie. They go and beat them when in the previous week, Liverpool had also dropped points in the Premier League, I think. And now this weekend, they lost last minute. They lost to
Crystal Palace. They lost
to Crystal Palace. Then they go to lose to Galatasaray. And now they go and lose in the last minute to none other than Chelsea. The team that has been in that downhill, but suddenly They win in the Champions League. They beat Benfica 1-0, which I watched the highlights. I didn't think Chelsea played great, but I mean beating Liverpool is significant. What do y'all think?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I would put Arsenal in third place. I feel like they've been on a great form. They've consistently
first place in the Premier League now.
Yeah, they're first place, and then they've been doing great. And honestly, Zubimendi looks like a different. I mean, he was a great player, but I feel like under Arteta, it's like a different player. And Martinelli. God, he's good. He's really good.
Now, for Arsenal, though, how are they going to change? Because this weekend, Martin Odegaard injured his knee, and it looks like it's an MCL injury.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's tough,
Poor guy.
and I feel for the guy as an ex-Madrid player, you know?
Yeah.
It's a shame. Let's see.
3 losses. That's United in this list. Maybe back in 2004.
Yeah. If you bring David Beckham and Paul Scholes back, maybe we'll put him up here. So.
Wayne Rooney, Ryan Giggs, yeah, the whole
Sir Alex
shebang.
Ferguson.
Ronaldo.
I think we need to take a big look at the bottom of this list from 6 down. We got a lot of teams.
I knew Michel was coming in.
out.
He's like, bring Napoli up now.
No, we have that team in 10th place that needs to be higher than 10th.
Hold on. Let me finish reading some of these comments here. Liverpool consecutive defeats didn't help their case. I think everyone agrees that Liverpool was ready to be dropped. I'm annoyed I put Salah and Van Dijk in my fantasy team, ruined my plans.
I have Van Dijk in my fantasy team too, man.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of fantasy teams, I want to hear how everyone's doing. What position is everyone at right now?
Oof. I need
to check. I need to check.
If you guys are anyone watching is in the fantasy league, I also want to hear in the comments what position you're at. I'm currently pulling mine up just to check. Let's see.
Amir, did you jump up at all?
I'm trying to see. Hold on.
From last to second to last for Amir.
I went up. Wait, hold on. Let me see.
I agree. I think Bayern needs to go up too. I saw that comment.
Bayern might need to rise. Honestly, Harry Kane has been in insane form. I mean, he's been scoring. I think Harry Kane, Haaland, and Mbappé are all three the hottest. I mean, as we would have expected, but they are the hottest strikers right now. Mbappe's on a 9-game scoring streak. Haaland has what was the stat? 18 goals in 11 games this season. 18 goals in 11 games, and I know Harry Kane is equally up there right now.
I mean, this might be controversial now. I put Bayern in the Arsenal slot.
Let's see. Let's review this. Anyone that would want to. Okay, hold on. Liverpool at 4th, Real Madrid at 5th, Bayern at 6th. I'm gonna say that Bayern could go up to 4th. We keep Madrid at 5th, and Liverpool could drop all the way to 6th. What do we think?
But we gotta give Madrid a little bit more respect, bro.
The thing is,
we lost 1 game.
I know, bro. But Bayern has not lost a single game. Arsenal has. I don't know.
I would personally put Liverpool at 7th. I would put Madrid at 4th, Bayern at 5th. Or sorry. No, Bayern at 4th, Madrid at 5th, City at 6th, and then Liverpool at 7th.
I kind of agree with that, honestly.
I mean, you can keep it how it is. I mean, we'll see. But I think for sure,
I'm wrong every week anyways, so don't count on what I'm saying.
Atletico de Madrid needs to get out of this top 10. I'm done talking about them until they actually show up and do something.
They tied again, dude. They literally go and beat Madrid, and then they go back. Well, okay, to be fair, in the Champions League,
they did good in the Champions League.
They destroyed 5-1 against Frankfurt, which is pretty impressive. But then they go back to La Liga and go back to their old selves.
They're just put them in a hat or put them in 10th with the hat with the slash mark. I'm done talking about Atletico Madrid until they actually pull up. Marseille needs to jump up
until they beat Madrid.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. I just made a couple tweaks here. So we have. I liked what Amir said. I'm putting Bayern at 4th, Madrid at 5th. I think Madrid. Michel, the reason why I'm not putting Madrid higher is because they need to beat a big team. I'm sorry, they just do. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe it. We keep beating these mediocre teams, which is fine. But
who is Arsenal playing then?
A big team.
I mean, everyone and people in the chat, please let me know because maybe I don't watch the EPL. Who has Arsenal been playing? We're giving Arsenal all this clout. They're in first place. Well, so is Madrid. Who has Arsenal been playing?
Who has Arsenal played that's big this season? Let's check. Let's check, actually.
They beat West Ham 2-0.
Okay, we beat Villarreal. I feel like those are...
I can't know. The thing is...
Villarreal was in 3rd.
Let's see.
I mean, look. You guys have coming up, obviously, El Clásico, late October. So that'll definitely, could shake the rankings. You guys are playing against Liverpool. Like, you guys will have the chance to prove. It just hasn't happened yet.
Damn.
And let me pull up who.
They also beat Atletico Bilbao.
Arsenal have Atleti on the
2-0.
21st. That's going to be a sick game for sure.
Yeah.
That could be.
But, Ricky, can you pull up Arsenal's schedule and see who they've been playing in the last 5-6 games? Because if it's all Burnley and West Ham, like
they tied against Man City, and they looked pretty good the second half. We already talked about that in a previous episode, right? They played against Newcastle and beat them. Newcastle recently has been pretty good. Olympiacos 2-0. Okay, a good win.
Yeah.
They did their homework.
Keep this comment up because I don't want to. I mean, finish it, but I want to keep this comment up because this is a good point.
Will do. Continue, Ricky.
Continue.
They beat Athletic Club, which I mean can be a tough game. I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say they've played like super big team. I mean, Man City.
Are they the third best team in the world? Are we really saying that?
I mean, dude, they're first place in the Premier League right now. I think we have to give them some sort of merit. They're first place in the Premier League. They eliminated Real Madrid last season. I think they brought in Gyökeres, a striker that literally won the best striker of the year award in the Balón de Oro gala. They have a Saka that's always been great, coming back from injury. Martinelli that's been playing great. Made the signing of Suleiman, who's been playing good.
Maybe I'm just hating. I mean, I don't really hate Arsenal like that. Maybe I'm just hating. I just haven't really seen who like big comp. But
this
maybe
is the great thing of this podcast. We have 2 Madrid fans, 2 Barça fans, but even the Madrid fans can go against each other, or even the Barça fans can go each other. It's a free for all at the end of the day.
I mean, we haven't done it yet, but we might at some point.
Can we all agree, the 3 of us here in the pod and everyone in the chat, can we agree that Marseille has got to at least be in 8th?
They won 4-0 this weekend, and then they won.
They're down. They're in second place, 1 point behind PSG. And that I think they're on a 4-game. I checked this specifically today because I wasn't new. They're on a 4-game win streak. They're 1 point behind PSG. I think they got to give them some respect. They're winning their Champions League games. They play well. It's not like they're barely squeaking by. They're winning 3-0. They're winning 4-0. Like, they're demolishing teams. Granted, it's Ligue 1, but still 1 point behind PSG.
I would put them in the Leverkusen category. They have a great trajectory to prove that they're up there, but the season's still too young. It's still too young for them that high.
Y'all are just hating.
I do think we have to consider, it's like the ending or part of last season where we put our rankings. I mean, you have to, right? I mean, I'll say they did bad last year, but I mean, they can get there. They still have to prove a little more.
Okay, here I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and take Michel's side. And okay, let's take out Atletico out of this top 10 completely.
I agree. Get them the fuck out of this top 10. I don't know why you guys love holding on to them.
You can't.
Put Marseille at 8, and then bring in Dortmund. I would argue.
No, what? Not Dortmund.
I mean, I rate Dortmund.
I mean, they did destroy Bilbao. Dortmund did destroy Bilbao, whereas Arsenal didn't. But I mean, Dortmund was playing at home against Bilbao, and the game was actually really close until the very end when Dortmund just scored a couple more goals.
My question for you two is, what's your loyalty with Atletico de Madrid? I don't understand. It's both of you always love it. Whether you're gonna put them at 8 still, 8. Okay, but they're not the 8th best team in the world. Come on, like you guys are. After all the things that I've known,
we never talk about Inter Milan. Let's talk about Inter Milan.
Yeah, I don't like Milan over there either. I think Juve also has a chance to be up there.
Atleti would destroy Marseille, and
you can't even beat Celta Vigo, Kylian. Come on, man. Relax.
I don't know.
That would actually be a fucking amazing game. That would be an amazing game.
It would. Can someone pull up Atletico's games for the Champions League? I just want to have in mind what we have in store.
Here, let me see.
Atletico did beat Real Madrid. I think we got.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We can't take Atletico, and they literally just spanked Real Madrid like that.
Yeah,
We
but
can't
then
take
like,
them out of the top 10.
But-
as much as I hate Atletico, they're fucking
If we're
losers, bro.
So
If
they
we're
have,
last year's Champions League, like honestly, it came down to a PK shootout. Had Julian Alvarez not slipped, this conversation would be completely different off of one PK that was different.
And
Yeah,
on top
but
of
like
that,
here- but
Madrid
that-
has
but we
not
can-
beat
we can-
Atletico in La Liga the past like 3 seasons.
Yeah, but we can bring in. I mean, yes, I know last year's it matters. Madrid has a completely different defense last year than they did. Like, look at our team now. Arda Güler was not start. Like, it's a very different team. We're talking about the best top 10 teams in the world right now. And I'm saying I don't think Atletico is 8th. Maybe we can put them at 10th. Chelsea just beat Liverpool. So what does that say about their movement? Like-
Well, let's consider they played against Liverpool last month, and had Virgil van Dijk not scored in the last minute, they tie them 2-2. A tie. Imagine this: tying 2-2 to Liverpool and beating Real Madrid 5-2.
You have
I mean,
yeah.
it's merit. It's merit. The numbers are there.
This is
You
getting
have-
I want to
juicy.
see an Atletico.
This is getting juicy.
I want to see an Atletico Inter Milan game or anything. If anything, Liverpool should be out. Oh man.
People are y'all are firing up on these comments today. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think
Why are you
they're getting us all hot. They're getting us all hot right now. We're all
I
getting
love
so
it, dude.
hyped.
I love it. This is exactly what I want, dude. Just for us to make a good old argument. I wish I had a beer right now. I don't know, man. I refuse. I refuse to take Atletico out from the top 10 right now. I still think that they could beat Chelsea. They could beat Marseille. They could drop. They could
All right, we gonna
potentially
see.
beat Inter Milan.
wait,
And-
Rox,
and I
can
think
you
we could
can you
take
bring
any of
up
the
the
other teams.
fixture really quick? I added it to the bottom for Atletico.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Say those games out loud because I'm looking at them, and there are some games that I think will highlight if Atletico deserves to be here or not.
We gonna
I
see.
mean, yeah. Look at this, dude. Atleti Arsenal. That's gonna be an amazing game to watch. Atletico versus Arsenal. Atletico versus Inter. Literally the game that we're talking about. And then against Galatasaray, a team that just beat Liverpool. They if they beat them, yeah, they are going to be at home this time. Whereas Liverpool played them away. But all 3 really solid games to see. Why does it say Frankfurt twice? We
just
I
don't
think-
know which Atletico Madrid is going
I
to
think
show
the
up.
venue is also wrong. I just got it off the internet, like off ChatGPT.
Well, there's
so-
something wrong about that one.
Yeah.
I wonder, or maybe it's the first game that's wrong. I don't know. Something's wrong. But anyways, there's some good games there to really measure where Atletico is in this ranking.
I think the hard part is just we don't know what version of Atletico Madrid is going to show up on that day. Because they have the day where they play really well in Champions League and they destroy Madrid. And then they look horrible against Celta Vigo, and Celta Vigo plays well, and Langley gets a red card. It's like we don't know. I think that's the hard part. We don't know who's going to show up.
So I'm hearing inconsistency. Yeah, Atletico is not a consistent team. They get fired up against Real Madrid, that's for sure. And Simeone
should.
is able to fire them up for other big games. But ultimately, the Atletico story boils down to they're losers and they choke. And if there's any Atletico fans right now, I've been defending y'all, but at the same time, I'm gonna bring y'all right back down.
Thank you. You sound like a freaking colchonero right now, man. Wait, also, who in the comments said Ajax is trash? Were we talking about Ajax at all? Did homie's got a personal vendetta against Ajax?
but
Did we say? I know. I'm curious. I don't know. I didn't hear if we said
It's
something.
Kylian
it was
Mendy
actually
saying Ajax
Kylian. It was Kylian Mendy, but that was because Marseille played against Ajax,
Oh,
and so
okay,
they were
okay.
just highlighting that they're just a trash team.
I was like,
and we
did
shouldn't be using
someone
their
hurt
win.
him?
I love Ajax, but they haven't been amazing
No,
lately.
that would be good.
There's a comment.
Ajax our ass. There we go.
Okay,
Love it.
so to summarize.
So there's
I
zero
still
movement
think-
at the bottom of the table of this. Then there's absolutely zero movement. Then is what we're
I
saying.
still think that Marseille needs to prove themselves a little bit more, to really
They're on
kick
trend.
Chelsea out, a team that just beat Liverpool. Yes, Chelsea's been on a terrible. I mean, Chelsea started in I think the 5th position in this ranking, so Chelsea's gone down. We've put Chelsea in their where they belong, I think. Inter Milan still has not been tested, but they're not first place in Serie A. Napoli is first place in Serie A. But I still want to see a little more from Napoli.
Are we all confident in Bayern over Madrid?
Right now, I hate to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With the way Harry Kane is playing, I would say so.
Well, but you could say the same thing about Mbappé.
Yeah, dude. Mbappé is the most informed player in the world right now.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. How about this? I know I vouch for Arsenal.
Man City drew to Champions League to a trash
go ahead,
team
Amir.
who just sacked their coach today. Breaking news! I didn't know that. Helion with the news drop.
I know I vouch for. Actually, no, I don't want Madrid in Arsenal's spot. Actually, I think Arsenal is doing better than Barça, to be honest. But I wouldn't put them as second.
I was gonna say. Right now,
Barça should be lower. Personally, I know I'm a Barca fan, but
I honestly I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't disagree with that
because you guys haven't had Lamine and Rafinha, so again, it's hard to say. But
doesn't
again,
matter. It's their current form though.
So then what? Exactly. So then what is your top? Forget the 10. What is your top 5? Everyone give their honest top 5.
PSG, Arsenal, Bayern, Madrid, Barca.
Wow. Ricky?
Maybe. Honestly, like Amir's show isn't terrible. I think Barça, Bayern, and Madrid are all very similar levels right now. I rank any one of those 3 wherever order you want them.
I think it just depends on the injuries and how they come in. If we give Rafinha and Lamine back to Barça, I think on any given day they could beat Bayern or Madrid. But right now, if we're talking about this Barça without Lamine or Rafinha, 100% I put Bayern and Madrid ahead of them, without a doubt. So if we're going to be making this ranking off of right now, sure, let's kick Barça all the way back to 5th. But let's just, we've already moved this thing around a whole lot. Let's just wait. Let's transition from this. We're going into an international break for 2 weeks, so there will be no Madrid, no Barça games. Kylian Mbappé hurt his ankle, but he still went with France. Lamine Yamal ended up getting hurt, so he retracted from the Spanish team. Valverde is not going to go with Uruguay, which I love as a Madrid fan. To get him a little more break. There's probably a couple others. I think Bellingham is not going. So honestly, Madrid is getting a little lucky going into this international break.
Yep. Well, actually, big hot topic. We didn't talk about this. I just remembered this. We could do like a quick 30-second take, and each of you guys in the comments too. Mbappé giving the PK to Vini, and Xabi Alonso clearly making it known that they worked it out between each other, but you could tell that he was not happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as the lines don't get blurred into who is the main penalty taker, then we're good. I think it was a nice deed from Mbappe to say, hey, Vini, you're feeling good, you're having a good game, you really want this penalty, you want it, take it. But I think in a big game, everyone and their mom knows that Mbappe should be taking that penalty.
I think that was the wrong moment to give it to him. Only up 1-0. I think if you're already winning 2-0, 3-0, you give it to him. I don't think Mbappé should have given him that PK. Again, I agree it's a nice gesture, but I think as a coach, I would sit Mbappé down, whether it's to be stern or to joke around with it and be like, I thought you wanted to score goals. What's going on? And make it playful, but you got to sit him down and be like, dude, we chose you. You are the penalty kick taker. I don't care what anybody says.
A player like Vini, any winger like Vini, your performances are based so much on confidence. So yeah, give him that chance. Give him that chance to prove himself, to be the the man of the match, to have
the difference maker.
The difference maker. I think it's a good call.
I agree with the homeboy right here. The PK was. I think we're singing a different story because they won the game. If he misses that PK, Villarreal scores 1-1, and it ends like that, it's a completely different narrative. Then we're not talking about giving him confidence.
I think Michel's right on this. The game was only 1-0, and when the game is close, especially when you're playing against the third place in La Liga, you have to secure, and maybe that was the best choice. Now, if
It worked out, which is great.
it worked out. But maybe Mbappe's thought was like, look, I don't know, this could be a flawed thinking, but I've already taken many penalties this season. Maybe the goalkeepers have already studied me pretty well coming into this one. Let me just give it off to Vini, so that way, I don't know. It's tough.
I agree with you. I think it was a nice gesture, but I think it was the wrong moment in the game to do it. Be up 2-0, 3-0, then give it to him. Give him all the PKs you want. But like you said, you got to secure the goal, because, again, if it had gone any other way, which he almost missed it. It wasn't like he buried it. He almost missed.
My stream actually fell down whenever Vini took the penalty, so. So I literally saw him run up, and then it came back, and he was celebrating. I was like, "Yay!"
Way to go! The two things actually. So I just got a notification from OneFootball. Apparently, Barca has put Ronald Araujo for 40 million for January for a transfer. So we're planning on it. And then secondly, I forgot to mention Dani Olmo's form. My God. Sorry, completely unrelated to this topic, but I just remembered and I had to mention this. I feel like Dani Olmo was another problem. Just wanted to mention that. But yeah.
What a juicy podcast this one. This was a
great
great
episode.
podcast.
I'm looking at the time, and it's 1 minute and 7 seconds, which
an hour and
an hour. It feels like a minute because we've been having so much fun. This is great. That's like one of my favorite episodes we've had.
It's definitely been a good time. I think we've had the highest audience interaction. We even have someone that wants to come up on the stage. Look at this. Adam CR7. CR7's son. He said, "I'd love to join in and put my points too," which is something that maybe we can look to for future podcasts. Maybe if we have one of the four missing, we'll discuss this. Maybe we'll throw the link out, and if people want to join in, we'll put you up we'll give you a few minutes of airtime. I have nothing against it, so it's something that we'll look into the future. So thanks for the comments.
Stay active in the episodes, though. Stay active in the episodes.
Yeah, stay active in the comments if you want to join in on the live call.
Yeah. So with that being said, reminder, thank you to everyone for watching this podcast. We've reached 1 hour and 8 minutes. So I really, really appreciate all of you guys. Big shout out. If you haven't hit the like button, please, this is your reminder to do so. That way we can keep making this podcast bigger. The more, the merrier. The more comments, the more conversation, the more debates, the better time that we all have. So, Ricky, Michel, Amir, I'm gonna open it up to you guys to say any final thoughts, and then we'll close it out here.
Honestly, I feel like we covered him. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, me either.
Amir?
Sorry. Visca Barça y Visca Catalonia. So that's all I got.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that we do this every time. I want to give you guys a shout out in the comments. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good week too. I want to give everybody who commented today. I've seen a lot of new profiles, a lot of new people commenting. We are growing this family. You guys share this link with your friends. We love to see this channel grow. Everyone in the El Merengue Culé, I know you guys are tuning in as well, because we have people that were watching you guys from before. Continue to grow this family, and I think having someone like a little segment where we have someone who's been with us to share their 2 cents, I think that would be awesome, and will actually help this channel grow. So we love you guys, and keep tuning in, and on to the next. We'll see you guys soon.
Peace out, guys.
Ciao.